Wonderful stuff. Live in session here on Six Music, the Jonny Halifax Invocation and Dead Swamp Hula. 2 more tunes to come. And Jonny has now approached the interview microphone. And thank you. You're okay? Do you need to take another breath? Are you okay? Yeah, good. Thanks for that so far. Would you mind introducing the rest of the band, please?
I'd love to, yeah. This is Will Ems on guitar. Mr. Paul Williams on harmonica, bass, multi-instrumentalist.
Well done, Paul. Lovely.
Mr. John Lynch in the booth there on drums. Chris Rotter on keyboards and the noises, and Rick Jensen on the saxophone, tenor, I believe.
And the band sounding absolutely splendid. How, can I ask, and this is not with a view to performance or anything like that, how fluid is membership of the Jonny Halifax Invocation?
Oh, anyone can join.
Hang on a minute. That doesn't say much for you lot, does it? Hey?
We welcome everyone.
That's good.
Open arms. Open arms.
I did read that some of you sort of rehearse separately, is that right? And then come together and perform?
Well, I don't know. Do we? Yeah, yeah. Not everybody rehearses together. You know,
No.
Rick's a staunch no rehearsals person.
Fantastic.
You couldn't tell. I have to say that because he stood behind me and he's buff.
Well, yeah. Oh, he's definitely buff.
And that, obviously that helps on the more expansive moments of the music that you make as well. With that in mind, actually, it's interesting hearing Dead Swamp Hula, and before that you played Thank You, which are, in terms of Jonny Halifax Invocation numbers, short numbers, aren't they?
Yeah, they're tight little pop songs, really.
Were they edited down to become like that?
Thank You Thank You was always kind of like that. Well, it did actually start out of a jam. It started out of a sort of playing the wrong song in rehearsal, and it's like, oh no, that sounds good, keep going. Mr. Lynch on drums, came up with a great beat, and then we just like, no, this is great, keep going with this. And then that was played live, like in a long sort of form, sort of, slightly sort of can-ish kind of version for quite a while, and then it eventually came down to sort of this tidy little under 3-minute kind of conventional pop song kind of thing, because that's all it's needed, But and Dead Swamp Hula, that's sort of similar kind of process, but actually that came out of like a sort of expanded kind of instrumental track that was off like the first EP, which was sort of a riff and lots of drones and stuff, and then that became again sort of through just sort of live. It's very sort of about sort of playing around with stuff live, experimenting live, and hence the invigorating input of not having everybody rehearsed what you're going to play.
Yeah, and what about the start point for those tunes as well? Because sometimes it seems like you get something like Cosmic Fanfare. You start with just a one harmonica note, and that will in turn build into what it becomes.
Yeah, a whole cosmic galaxy of bass harmonica.
Yeah, great effects as well. Brilliant.
Yeah. No, I suppose that's just enjoying the sound of just like one instrument, one note, and then just sort of layering things up. And I mean, very much a sort of studio creation, which then evolved into sort of a sort of sound collage thing. But then that's become something that we've then kind of interpreted live, and having great fun with, and making it very long.
It's interesting to note, you see, as the conversation goes on, you've caught your breath now. Which, I'm only saying this because there's a real art form in what you do, because, you look at Larry Adler, and he plays a harmonica quite brilliantly, but they're sort of quite genteel, and the breathing, you can see how he manages it. You're screaming away there, and then straight on the harmonica, and then back screaming again. And there's an art form in your breathing exercises, surely.
Yeah, it's not exercise,
Right.
It's almost like forced hyperventilating, sort of tripping yourself over, and
But you just did
coping.
You did the one song then, and you were exhausted, and so was I, by the way. Well, you go and play for 3/4 of an hour. I would imagine you've got an oxygen tent next to you, haven't you?
Well, that's where we have the drone tracks,
Right.
The extended. So I need a break now. Can we just do
Fair enough, mate. I'm fair
Can we
enough.
get the drones on for a track?
And all this talk of invocation, what are you invoking?
Beauty, peace, humanity.
Yeah,
possibility.
That's all right. isn't it?
Possibilities.
Acceptable invocation. Yes, we can accept that here absolutely wholeheartedly. Can we talk about your wooden guitars and describe them to us? And
The
tell
planks.
Us, the planks. They are planks, aren't they? Mark, have you seen many of these before?
No, I haven't.
A couple of them are made by Selma. I'm familiar with Selma saxophones from a while back, but there are a couple of Selma ones, and just talk us through it, if you wouldn't mind, Johnny. What you got there?
Yeah, these were sort of built. I mean, it's the first guitar I sort of got actually as a kind of like idea of sort of playing guitar, and ended up playing one of these as sort of an open tuning sort of before sort of trying to learn chords. But
It looks like a
didn't get
cricket
that
bat,
far.
kind of. It looks like a cricket bat more than the guitar.
Beautifully described, Mark.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. Things get a bit hairy.
Yeah.
Got a bit of spinal tap. Yeah, I mean they are planks, but I mean they're sort of 40s instruments. They're really like antiques really, but I mean they're kind of like sort of cheap sort of timber sort of approximations of sort of really beautiful kind of American country and western guitars. I think.
Are they easy to get hold of now?
Yeah, on eBay. You
Right.
get yourself on eBay.
They sound great. Yeah.
I heard this. I mean, I was told by the guy in the music shop in Ealing, I think, that this one belonged to the bass player of Mott the Hoople.
Really, over and
That's pretty good provenance, isn't it?
Well,
true
in
or
that
not,
case, you should
true or
be
not.
invoking the spirit of Over and Watts.
All the young dudes.
You should be wearing white thigh-length leather boots. You've lost a plot, man.
Damn.
What could you do? I give up.
Wardrobe error.
Yeah, see, add that to your list of invocation, please, if you wouldn't mind, and that would work. There's a new LP out next year on God Unknown Records. Is that the plan? How's that going in terms of planning towards that?
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, sort of greatest hits, pop hits, or the sort of songs. Yeah, I mean, so we've done 2 albums of instrumentals, extended instrumentals with largely minor sort of vocals and drums. But these kind of last 2 singles we put out, we're going to collect the tracks that have evolved into sort of songs and beat tracks into an album. Yeah, so that's next year.
Good.
Middle next year, hopefully.
Fantastic, and a good place to release those records as well on God Unknown Records.
Yeah. And actually, the last one we just played, that's a new single. That's coming out as a single, sort of this end of this month, 27th.
I think we're planning to play it next week as well. Now we've had the session version. Okay, 2 more tunes to come, and also some tour dates. Are you ready to settle down and play a couple back to back for us?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to do a sort of one of the sort of more mellow instrumental ones next, and then finish with another song.
Okay, here we go. The first one is The Sun and the Red Sand. This is the Jonny Halifax Invocation live in session here on 6 Music.